Hi, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of our English 1020 online course. In this video, I've got a couple of announcements to start us off, and then I want to talk through both our week's activities and I want to go through the article that you guys read this week or are reading this week, the backpacks versus briefcases article. So, without any further ado, let me just signal boost for a minute. Your peer mentors, who are awesome. Last week you saw that they posted all their contact info. They've set up WhatsApp chats for you guys, which hopefully you're all a part of because they can give you answers and announcements and updates and all kinds of check-ins in that WhatsApp chat. But they also posted their office hours, which of course are via Zoom this semester, but still your peer mentors are here for you and they've carved out time so that they can support you guys as you're working on assignments for this class. Sanjana's office hours are Fridays from 3 to 5. So if Sanjana's your peer mentor, make a note of that. Mubashir's office hours are also on Fridays from 11 to 12. So if you're in Mubashir's section, make sure you make a note of that. And these peer mentors are thinking strategically. They've taken this course before. They've worked with me before as peer mentors, and they are thinking about when in the week would be most helpful for you when you might be working on assignments that you might have questions on. So make sure that you're taking advantage of your peer mentors as resources because they are amazing. Okay, so now let's look over at our Canvas view and we'll get into what you'll be doing this week. Okay, so here we are in our Canvas view. One quick thing is that I just started posting our announcements at the top of the home page. They should also be going out to you via email, but this is also a nice quick reference for you. Now, we are on week 3. So I'm going to click on our overview page and you can see our activities. This week we're really getting into the idea of rhetorical appeals, which may or may not be a review of terms for you. And we're thinking about analyzing the rhetorical situation in another writer's work. So in terms of watching, watch your week 3 instructor video, which you're doing right now, Air 5. There's a mini lesson video here that does a bit of a deep dive into the Aristotelian rhetorical appeals of ethos, pathos, and logos. So check that out, especially if this isn't review for you. If you're like, what? When I say those words, check out this video because it'll give you kind of a funny overview of rhetorical appeals. And there's a little vid this week. So all those things are for you to watch. In terms of reading, there's nothing from the textbook this week. Phew! Now some of you are breathing a sigh of relief. The article, Backpacks versus Briefcases, is a really interesting look at not just how to identify elements of the rhetorical situation and rhetorical appeals, but it actually works through, I think, 2 different example analyses, whatever. So this is a really useful article for you as in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be drafting and revising your own rhetorical analysis papers. So this is intended to be a very helpful and supportive article. We'll talk about it more in a second. You definitely want to just do another pass at the article you chose for Project 1. Thinking now about the Carroll article, Backpacks versus Briefcases, what can you additionally identify and describe in your article? And you'll see here there's a student sample Project 1 essay. It's by no means perfect, but it is a good example of some key moves that you're going to want to make in your Project 1 essay. In terms of writing, it's all about 3s, DJ 3, Project Builder 3, and a shitty first draft, a la Anne Lamott. So last week you guys read her chapter, so you know that when I say that, I mean it with love, and I'm referencing Anne Lamott. So you just are going to do a down draft. You're going to get it all down. And then hopefully I can look at it and make sure that everybody's on the right track with their Project 1 paper. That's the idea. So, busy week, fun week, challenging week. I don't know. It's just a week. Definitely want to be watching stuff and looking at your first readings today or tomorrow, so that then by Friday you can kind of dig into those mini lessons, be rereading your article in light of the Carol piece. And this general particular assignment is aimed at helping you begin your shitty first draft, which is what is due on Sunday. So that's our week in a nutshell. Now, I'm going to head over to a really tiny PowerPoint to just walk through some of the key points in backpacks versus briefcases that I want to make sure nobody misses. Okay. Rhetorical analysis. This is what Project 1 is all about. I'm asking you to perform a rhetorical analysis of your article that you chose from that list. Remember way back in week 1? And write up that analysis in essay form. What does that even mean? Well, let's talk about it. Here are some of the key moves that a rhetorical analysis essay, such as the one you will be drafting this week and revising next week, will do. This is what a rhetorical analysis will perform. Step 1, identify and describe the rhetorical situation for your article. So this means that you're going to be thinking about, most of you are going to be thinking about the common rhetorical situation, which we've seen as a triangle, right? Rhetor, purpose, audience, message, the context. We did some mini lesson work with this last week. Now, Carol also talks about Lloyd Bitzer's representation of the rhetorical situation, in which he talks about exigence as part of that purpose, why we might be writing something, and constraints. So constraints would include things like audience expectations, or the genre that you're writing in, or the medium or modality that you're writing in. You can use either one of these rhetorical situations for your essay, or you can use a combo, but you should identify and describe who is this being written to, why, and what is this writer's ethos or stance toward their audience. Now, when I say ethos, that's a little bit of foreshadowing, because the second set of moves in a rhetorical analysis include identifying and describing the argument. So that's different from identifying and describing the rhetorical situation. Identifying and describing the argument first asks you to identify the type of claim that is being made. That should ring some bells from our work last week. Is this a claim of value, a claim of fact, a claim of policy? Those are the things you want to identify when you're homing in on claim. And then also picking up on backpacks versus briefcases and your mini lesson video from this week, what type of rhetorical appeals are being used? Is this writer leaning heavily on their ethos, who they are, their credibility? Are they really engaging in pathos, trying to play on the emotions of an audience? Are they doing a combo? Are they using logos? So leaning on the veracity of the words themselves, the meaning, and how do we want to say, the factualness of their actual words. Either way, whether it's multiple rhetorical appeals or you only see one, or maybe you only see two at play, you want to be able to look at the article you've chosen, identify where these things are happening, and provide a specific example from your article. Oh, so you say they're using pathos? Show me an example of where this author's using pathos. That will help your claim, which you're making in your paper. Which, by the way, when you're making your claim, you are going to be making a claim of value. Either this article that you're analyzing is doing a good job, it's effective, the rhetorical situation is being attended to, the claim is effective, the rhetorical appeals are appropriate, it's working, or it's not working. And then why? Why is it working? Why is it not working? That's what you're saying in your Project 1 paper. And these moves, identifying and describing the claim, the rhetorical appeals, and the rhetorical situation, are how you are going to support your claim of this article is effective or this article is not effective. Okay. I'm going to pull back to our full view and close out this week's video. Okay, so as usual, please feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions about the content I've presented here. Also, feel free to shoot an email to your peer mentors. They're here for you. And for all of us, we want to support you as you develop as a writer in this course. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye, everybody.